night. Is that why you have your helmet? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
because we have to talk about it, and I'm not trying to get smacked by anybody. I got it just in case.
That was wild. What happened? When I was watching it live, I learned a lot about the broadcast of the Oscars last night just because of the slap that Will Smith did to Chris Rock. And at first, it looked like a PR stunt, like it was a shtick, like maybe it was all scripted. But I'm like, Will Smith doesn't act that well, although he did win. He did win Best Actor.
Should have won it for Ali, as a matter of fact.
Oh my goodness. So what happened was Chris Rock's on stage. He actually was presenting an award for Best Documentary. Those poor people, like
poor Questlove and his squad.
That's right, Philly. It was totally overshadowed by what occurred just before his name was announced. So he's up there and he's, like you do, he's a comedian and he was taking fun jabs at people in the audience, like you do at these type of shows. And he looked at Jada, Will Smith's wife, and he says, can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out because her head is shaved. And Will Smith at first was laughing. He first was laughing until he turned over to his wife, who was rolling her eyes. She was not happy with the joke. She didn't like it. So it was bizarro because he was laughing, and then all of a sudden the camera goes to Chris Rock on stage, and here comes Will Smith walking down the catwalk to the stage and slaps him. I mean, a hard open palm, boom, you could hear it. First, I'm like, did he slug him? What just happened? And caught Chris Rock off guard. Now, they edited it here in the States. It was edited in the States, but in New Zealand, Australia, and Japan, they had it all in all its glory. And there were some choice words that were shared. He's from Will Smith saying, take my wife's name out of your mouth. I'm cleaning it up a bit. You're still trying to piece it together.
It's shot because at first you could tell everybody was like, is this real? Is this not real? And then I think anytime you get open palm smacked on a stage it's shocking. And there's a lot of history with Chris Rock jokes and that couple, but that's, it's not like Will and Jada are the only ones who are ever getting joked about. Their relationship, particularly in the last year or so, has been under a microscope, and in particular for Will has he's become a meme based on some of the conversations that he and Jada have had publicly on her podcast. And gosh, I just think he's had things simmering for a while, and it really is crazy. The matter of seconds between him laughing at the joke, you clearly see Jada's like, I didn't like that joke, and he's up on like just that switch flipped.
And by the way, Will Smith laughing later on during the award show, almost like what is going on mentally in his head, because the fact that he was even still sitting there, a lot of people were shocked about, because he assaulted, let's make this clear, he assaulted Chris Rock. And the police were contacted, and the police said, well, Chris Rock did not want to file charges. That's why he was still sitting there. And that's why it's not being pushed any further than what we're talking about right now.
I'm wondering how much... Look, I'm not going to... I can't imagine trying to be somebody who was producing that show and just being like, what do we do?
Yeah, there was a weird glitch. If you were watching it, because my husband at one point said to me, he's like, stop messing with it. You're breaking the TV. He thought I was like trying to rewind it and the thing glitched, almost like a streaming glitch. I'm like, It's not me. It's the Academy Awards trying to catch up because they were censoring what went down with the choice words that were said out of Will's mouth.
Right.
Here's the funny thing though. The joke, first of all, anybody under 25 didn't get it, because on Twitter they're all going, can someone please, I don't understand. What does G.I. Jane mean? What is he referring to? Because that movie is so old. It's such an old movie.
I think for most people probably in that age, they would probably just assimilate that, like, instead of saying G.I. Joe, he said like G.I. Jane, not knowing that G.I. Jane was actually a movie with Demi Moore.
And here's the other thing. And you can't, hindsight 2020. But that character that Demi Moore played, where she shaved her head for that character, I was like, wow, she was a tough, strong character. That did not have to be an insult. That did not have to be taken as an insult from Chris Rock. Even Chris Rock's like, that was a nice joke. He's like, that could have been a strong character. And Jada could have been like, she that was her moment to shine too. When he referenced G.I. Jane being a strong, don't forget, a strong character. Jada could have been like, could have done this. Said like, that's right.
I agree with you.
Shoulda, coulda. I know.
I agree with you, but there's probably things that someone could joke about with us if we were big and famous and all that. How stuff.
You handle it.
That's absolutely right. And that
there could have been words exchanged, but that was not the way to do it.
That's his legacy now. That now every time you say, well, probably the biggest star in the world through the 90s, between the Fresh Prince, his music career, the movies, every 4th of July, it was a Will Smith movie. His legacy now, and you mentioned that 25 and under crowd, most of them are going to know him for smacking Chris Rock. They're
going to be watching G.I. Jane to figure out what in the world was that all about.
It's
we
crazy.
can go on and on about this, but we actually have to get on the air. So on the way, your 2022 Miller Lite golf cart coming up 740. Get that helmet on just in case.
We may have said too much. Call St. Luke's just in case.
Yeah. Just be careful. We have this day in history. They'll be ready because he was stunned. I'll tell you what, Chris Rock was pretty stunned. Nearly impossible.
You get open palm smacked in the face on the award show.
He handled it very well. He was graceful. He handled it very well. Nearly impossible question 640. We have your James Taylor tickets coming to the PPL Center and your Fuel Up with Selena and Crockett. I'm about to say on air when we're going to do that. We'll do that here.
Okay.
So come join us.
So join us on air.
Okay. We'll just say somewhere in the 8 o'clock. How about
7
o'clock? Let's say 7 o'clock hour. 7 o'clock hour.
Terrific.
7 o'clock hour.
We got to find something to talk about. Pretty boring news day, Selena. All right. Bye, everybody.